hello, yo. What? We good. Wait, just one moment of silence. But like, for real though, why did it, like what? Like what? Wait. Like what?
Turn down for what?
Hey!
Turn down for what?
Let's go! Woo!
Turn down for what?
Wow. Ooh. All right. Real quick, can I get a wow on 3? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. All right, well, I'm humbled, blessed, and so just grateful to be up here speaking with everybody today. Real quick, I just want to let everybody know what I don't want to do here when I have this short segment to speak. I don't want to pump you up, motivate you, get you jacked up and all that jazz, and then at the end of the day, leave you with nothing. What I want to do today while I speak is I want to give you something that I've learned through my experience in this business, that I've learned through others' experiences in this business who all have success, that you can take out when you leave out of the door and use it to change your life. And how does that sound? Awesome. All right, well, real quick, a little bit about myself. If you've never met me, you don't know my name. My name's Stu Massengill. I'm 20 years old, grew up in a little town called Danville, actually same town as Adam and Harrison, which is pretty crazy, and moved down to go to San Diego State, supposed to be a junior, taking some time off, right? But basically, my mom's here, time off, right? But really quick, I just want to ask a question before I get into my segment, is how many people here have a fear of public speaking? Or would be scared to come up here on stage right now and be honest? All right, so this is gonna get fun then, because what I'm about to do is I'm gonna bring a handful, probably like 2 people up here while I'm speaking, and we're gonna have you share your story and a little bit of other information. And honestly though, when I said that, how many people's here's hearts just dropped a little bit? Probably everybody, right? What's cool, I'm actually not gonna do that. I learned that from this dude named Brian Tracy, but the message I wanna convey in saying this is I wanna let everybody here know and realize that myself, Ian Lenhart, every single person that has been up here speaking was not the person they are when they were sitting in the seat at first. When they came to their first event, they are a different person up here. You grow into your income in this business and you grow into yourself. And so one thing I want to let everybody know here is that I know something about every single person in this room, whether I know you, whether you're my best friend, you don't even know my name, or this is the first time you've even seen me. But I know something about you. This is what I learned from my friend Les Brown. He said it's that you have greatness inside of you. You were not put here with no purpose and no meaning. You were put here to do something amazing and to do something great. And so what I want to talk about real quick is how to pull that greatness outside of you. Because realize, if you were great at some things and you were horrible at some things, if you became great at everything, like it's a wrap. And so what I'm going to teach you is basically how to bring that greatness out. Realize that in this business, it's something that Jim Rohn says. He says, we're not paid for the time we do here. We're paid for the value we add to the marketplace. We are paid for the value that we add to the marketplace. And so ask yourself, right, is it possible to become twice as valuable, make twice as much money in the same exact amount of time? Absolutely, right? Because you look at people, right? For example, Adam Winnig, right? In 0 to 16 months, hit the rank star ambassador, crushing $500,000. And people are like, that's crazy. How is he doing that? Right? But what you want to realize is behind the scenes, you probably don't know what he was doing. I talked to Adam, he told me in his first summer, he read like 30 books, right? He was adding value to the marketplace. Realize that in life, money finds you where you're at, no matter what. Money finds you where you're at, right? As you grow in this business, your bank account grows automatically. And that's one of the coolest things. So what you want to start to do is you want to start to build your value. It's simple if you think about it. If you want to be good at soccer, you learn the skills. If you want to be a doctor, you read the books. You want to become good at this industry, which created the second most millionaires last year. It's simple. Read the books and listen to the audios. You feel me? Get your value up, because the higher your value goes up, the more you're going to make. Like, think about it. If you gave someone, this is something that Jim Rohn says as well. He says, lasting motivation comes from education. Lasting motivation comes from education, right? Because how many people here, for example, want to crack 6 or 7 figure income? All right, and how many people here want to create that income, though, to continue whether you do anything or not, to pay you for years and years and years and years to come? That's the no-brainer, right? That's the best part. You know, so what you want to realize is lasting motivation comes from education. Jim Rohn says if you build the people will build you, right? Imagine if you gave someone who was brand new in the business, like Business of the 21st Century by Robert Kiyosaki, one of my favorite books, whether it takes them a month, 3, 6, or 12 months to go bronze, I guarantee they continue to do the business. Why? Because they have got lasting motivation from that education you gave them. But the coolest part about this is it works both ways. As you're getting them educated, it's not gonna take them 1, 3, 6, 12 months to hit bronze because they're bringing their value up. Does that make sense? And as they bring that value up, money's gonna find them exactly where they're at. And that's the coolest part about this business. One thing I like to relate it to is something that one of my favorite mentors, knew him before he was even involved with this company, Eric Thomas, shared with me that I want to share with everybody. He said, Stu, life is like a tube of toothpaste. Right? And some people here are probably like, this guy's talking about toothpaste, like what the hell's going on now? You know, but what you want to realize, he shares this story. And he said when he went to his mom's house, they would use the toothpaste, and at the end they would cut it open, there was a bunch left over. Right? And then he went to his grandma's house, and she had this like invention. You know, and she would put it on the end of it, and it would just like bam, right? And they would cut it open, nothing left. And so what he shared with everybody is that we all have the same amount of toothpaste. Some of us get more out of it. And I don't know if people realize how that relates to life. How it relates to life is that we all have the same amount of potential in life. Some of us get more out of it, right? Realize that what you should not fear is fear itself. Like honestly, in like all seriousness, we all get out of life the same way. You die. You feel me? So what you shouldn't fear is like getting up here. What you shouldn't fear is getting on the phone. What you should fear is that like when you're on your deathbed, you're gonna have half a tube of toothpaste left. You're gonna look at your life and be like, oh my God, I had so much potential that I didn't get out. You know? Realize you have all that potential, and in the end result, like you face fear in one of two ways. When you have a fear in life, this is what I've learned through this business and through personal development, it's either gonna tear you down and it's gonna ruin your life, or it's gonna bring you up and it's gonna change and save your entire life. Whereas when you see fear, you see it in one of two ways. One, you forget everything and run. Or secondly, you can face everything and rise. You know, but realize, just like my man Ian Lanhart said, the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. You know, and realize itself, fear is an illusion. Like this is something we were talking to Darren Hardy about the other day. You know, blessed to be able to get that training. And one thing he talked about is fear is an illusion. You don't fear itself. You fear the anticipation. You know, and they did a study at Michigan State, and they strapped a heart monitor to this guy, right? And he went up in the plane, as he was going up, his heart's just like pumping, right? And as soon as he jumped out, it just calm, went back down. He's going up, and you're like, how does that make sense? He's in a safe airplane, his heart's going crazy, and he jumps out and just, like he's falling to earth, and is like that. You're like, that makes no sense. What you want to realize is in life, you fear the anticipation more than the act itself. And what Darren Hardy says is, he says, be courageous for 20 seconds. Because when you jump out of that plane, it doesn't take like hours on hours on hours to decide. You're literally like, oh, I think I might do it, oh, and the next thing you're just like throwing yourself out. And you're like, oh my God, what happened? But you're like, chill, right? And so realize that it's like the same thing in life. And what Darren Hardy said, which I love it, right? He says, your brain never wants to jump out of a plane. Like never. It's like, that's the stupidest thing you could ever do, jump out of a plane. So what you gotta do for 20 seconds, turn your brain off. Turn your brain off and just boom, right? If you're scared to make a phone call, 20 seconds, just call. And as soon as you get on the phone, just, you're scared to come up here and speak, to do an event, turn it off for 20 seconds and get in front of the room and it calms down, right? Realize that fear itself is an illusion. In this business, we teach people to attack their fears. The sooner you attack your fears, the sooner you're gonna become successful in this business. You know, it's simple. The sooner you attack your fears, the sooner you're gonna become successful. You know, and this is one thing that I love that Tyler Small talks about, right, in this business. And he talks about the system. And he says, so many people here are so like stuck to the system. This is something Darren Hardy said the other day. He said 20% of the knowledge and experience we get is from like books, audios, things like that, right? From like learning, practicing the invite, you know, from practicing the throwdown. But 80 comes from your experience. You know, so realizing this business that like if you, like when some of us got involved in this business, there was no system. You know, like when we got involved, the reason we made it happen is because we were so hungry to make this thing happen. It didn't matter if we were gonna fail. We failed forward and forward and forward. Realizing in this business, you fail. The sooner you fail, the sooner you become successful, right? If you're like, I don't know how to do a Skype call, do a Skype call and I guarantee you're gonna learn. If you don't know how to do an event and I guarantee you're gonna learn. You know, for real, because realize that like the thing that will not be hard is doing that UVU call. What's not gonna be hard is getting in front of a room. What's not gonna be hard is doing the extra one-on-one, doing the extra Skype UVU, flying the extra thousands of miles, driving the extra hundreds of thousands of miles. What's gonna be hard is looking your kid in the eyes, looking your husband, looking your wife in the eyes, and saying, sorry we're struggling, sorry we can't pay the bills, we can't afford mortgage, and we really can't do anything because I was too much of a pansy to make this thing happen. On a real note. Because look right now, there is people in this room that this is their first event that will go on to crack a 6 and a 7-figure income in this company. And ask yourself, like, do you want to be the person that in 3, 5, 10, 15 years, you're the person that's living the lifestyle, that's cracked that 6, 7-figure income, life is literally yours, life is in your hands. Or do you want to be the person that 3, 5, 10, 15 years down the road, you're explaining to your family why you're struggling? You know, realize that this business is simple. Going through the motions is simple. What's gonna be hard is explaining to your family like why you're not living the way you should be living when you had the perfect opportunity to do it. You know, and so one of the last things I kind of want to talk about before I wrap this thing up, and someone touched on it earlier, is you need to get uncomfortable. You know, make uncomfortable comfortable. Like this is what Jed Wendeluz taught me. He said, Stu, successful people do what is comfortable, what is uncomfortable till it becomes comfortable, and that's why they're successful. So realizing this business, one thing that I would say, and a reason I believe I am where I am today, and it could do the same for you, you gotta get hungry to get uncomfortable. Like if you're uncomfortable to get in front of a room, do it. My biggest fear was public speaking. My first event was with 5 people. I had a note card, I was shaking, and I was ready to crap my pants. Literally, it was horrible. Nobody got started, it was the worst event in time. But realize you don't need to be great to start, you need to start to be great. Jed Wendeluz told me, he said, a crappy plan today is better than a perfect plan tomorrow.
Stu, I just want to prove your point. I turned my brain off.
Hey, let's go! Let's go! My man. Rock and Rob. Let's give it up for Rock and Rob. Let's go. Let's go. Woo! All right, well, to wrap things up, because I feel like I'm getting kicked off, definitely getting kicked off. Get comfortable to be uncomfortable. When I was uncomfortable to do a home event, in public speak, I threw myself up there. I was scared to public speak. I said, Jed, throw me in front of a training of 500 people. And I did it. I got comfortable with it. In this, I was scared. You feel me? When Jed invited me up in front of 500 people, I was like, don't call me. He's announcing my name. I'm like, no, like, no. And he calls me up, and now I'm comfortable with it. So realize if you can become comfortable with the uncomfortable, you'll become successful. Last thing I want to say is actually a quote by, I got to find their name, a quote by Mariana Williamson. It's one of my favorite quotes. It says, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We were all meant to shine bright, as children do. It's not in some of us, it's in all of us. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, we automatically, our present liberates others. Thank you very much.